All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started first. A couple of announcements, and then we'll jump into chapters 9 and 10. All right. So real quick, a couple of things that are coming up. On April the 17th, a couple volunteer opportunities. April 17th, we're hosting a high school appetizer dessert competition here at St. Philip's. And so we are looking for some students to kind of help in the labs, just kind of oversee the students that are in the labs, making sure that the students themselves are required to clean up their spaces. But just to make sure that we all know how our labs are supposed to look at the end. Essentially, what's going to happen is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, our schools are going to start arriving. And they'll have the pastry students will be downstairs in one of the pastry labs. The culinary students will be upstairs in the Artemisia's lab. And they will be essentially preparing their dessert or appetizer sample. And then at the same time, there'll be people from their group that will be setting up their tables either in Artemisia's or in the 400 classrooms. Okay. And then at about 5 o'clock, we're going to welcome about 100 to 150 hospitality industry professionals. So these are professionals from all different associations around San Antonio, specifically for hospitality. And they're going to come in from 5 to 7:30, and the students will have their competition, so people can taste their appetizers and desserts. And then we'll clean up afterwards. So we'll make sure that the students, when they leave, the kitchens are left clean. So we're looking for some student volunteers to help with that and kind of oversee that process. Also, maybe help the students if they need to know like where the bowls or the induction burners are, things like that in the labs, to help with that. Is there anybody in online or here in class that thinks they might be interested in doing that? You'll also have an opportunity to walk through the event and taste all the food as well and participate in that regard. There will be alcohol at this event, beer and wine, so students are not allowed to partake in that, regardless of whether you're 21 or not. So just be aware of that during the event. If there's any extra, I might send some home, but I'm not gonna, during the event, we can't have you consuming alcohol. Any questions or interest in that? Okay. The next two, April 22nd, is happening downtown. Biga on the Banks, is one of the restaurants. They're celebrating the 25th anniversary. We're still looking for 3 students to pair up with the culinary chefs. And so what they're doing is kind of a similar situation of the appetizer dessert competition. It's not a competition though. The chefs will be preparing a specific appetizer, or kind of like a smaller portion of an entree, and they'll be handing that out at the event. And so they're looking at having one of our students paired with one of the chefs that's participating there. So I still need about 3 students to do that one. For this one, we do ask that you have completed Chef 1300. That's the professional cooking dining room service class. I know some of y'all are in that class right now. So if you have not completed it, but you're interested in participating in that, we just want to make sure that you're able to follow recipes really well. So if you want to get with your chef instructor and have them ask if you think that you would do well with that, just let me know. Okay? Any questions about that event? It does say 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock. That's the time of the event. Okay, so part of the expectations for the 22nd is that between now and then, you'll meet with that chef at least one time to go over the process for that day. And then also you'll be available to help them earlier in the day with the prep and then the event. Okay, so it'll be a long day for you, but it'll be great experience. Have you ever been to an event like Taste of Northside or like a Fiesta event or like where they have like food booths and you just walk around and try samples of food? It's very similar to that. So give you great experience for something like that. Any questions, comments, concerns about the 22nd or any interest in the 22nd? All right. Oh, I see a chat. Hold on. Russell, you want to do the 22nd?
Yes.
Okay, I will
I'll
add you.
if I can do the 22nd because I also I am in another class of yours and I said I wanted to do the 23rd also.
Yep, I got you for the 23rd. Awesome. So I'll put you down for the 22nd as well. Thank you, sir. All right, and that leads me to the next one is the 23rd. This one's probably like the most casual of all of the events. Okay. Anyone's welcome to participate in this. Hotel Contessa is downtown and they want to have a taco cook-off. So they are going to prepare, or they're going to have provide everything. All you have to do is show up in your uniform and with your toolkit. That is it. Okay. So there, what I envision, this is the first time we've ever done this, so we're probably gonna have some good learning curves this year. But what I envision is they're gonna have the proteins out on a table, and you can choose what protein you want for your taco, and then all the seasonings, all the vegetables, all the toppings, all the different things like that available for you. They're gonna have flat top griddles. They said they're gonna have a smoker. They're gonna have like a I can't remember if they said a fryer or not, but they're gonna divide us up into teams of about 3 to 4 students, and then you're gonna work together as a team to look at the ingredients you have and then make your tacos. And then there'll be some judges that will walk by and taste test your tacos. That one is, I'm assuming it's gonna be from 4 to 8, okay? That includes the time to get there, prep, and the competition. But as soon as I know, I will confirm the time for that. Anybody interested in taco cook-off? This one's gonna be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, all right, cool. That's fine. Um, Last thing I want to talk about before we jump into chapters 9 and 10 is our summer practicum and the classes. Okay. So, your practicum, who does not know what your practicum course is? Okay, cool. So, your practicum course is designed for you to take in your second to last or last semester. Okay. So, if you're a pastry student, you should have completed most of your pastry program. So that way you can decide, do you want to do your internship, your practicum in a bakery, in a cake decorating shop, in a chocolate shop? Like, where do you want to get more information? Okay. Um, we have a lot of students that do their practicums at HEB in the bakery because HEB bakeries do a lot of scratch baking, all the decorating of the cupcakes and the cakes and everything. So you can you can get a lot of great experience there. Um, Culinary students, you should have probably taken at least, if you're going for the associate's degree, you probably should have completed at least garde manger and international cuisine. Okay, so again, you have a little bit more of those elevated, those higher level culinary classes in order for you to apply those skills in the practicum. Okay, um, practicums can be done if you're culinary. They could be really anywhere that food is served. So um, food trucks, restaurants, hotel banquets, hotel restaurants. I even had a student that did their practicum at the hospital because they had to deal with a lot of specialty dietary needs. So you can do your practicum kind of pretty much almost anywhere that food is served it to a certain extent. Okay. Probably not going to do your culinary arts practicum at McDonald's. Okay. You got to be able to use the culinary skills that you've gained during your classes. You're going to apply them to your practicum. Okay. If you're a restaurant management major, you're going to do most of your practicum is going to be in the front of the house. You can still do some back of the house, but most of it's going to be front of the house. If you're a hotel major, obviously in a hotel in various departments. And then if you're a hospitality major, you can do it pretty much anywhere. Hospitality has the most flexibility. Um, But the most important thing about practicum is that if you're going to take practicum, every time every time we do practicum, the previous semester, we have a practicum information session that is required for you to attend. Okay? So if you are planning on taking your practicum in the spring, or sorry, in the summer, we're gonna have a meeting on April the 16th upstairs on the fourth floor. Okay? We'll have an information session about what practicum is, and more details about your expectations, or our expectations for you. But then we also will have a job fair as part of that. Okay. So if you want to come and just learn what practicum's about, even if you're not enrolled in practicum, um, you can still come to that meeting and then go for the job fair if you're looking for a job in the hospitality industry. Okay. Um, we also, if you're planning on doing practicum in the fall, okay, the fall practicum will have a meeting in July. But if you come to this meeting in April, then you don't have to come to the meeting in July. Okay, so you can kind of get the meeting out of the way, so you don't have to worry about doing it in the summertime. Okay. Any questions about practicum? All right. And last thing is summer momentum. Who is not familiar with summer momentum? Anybody online? All right, so Summer Momentum program is a program that Alamo Colleges has put into place probably about 5 or 6 years now. And it's where that if you take a certain number of credit hours in the fall and the spring, then you qualify for a certain number of free credit hours in the summertime. Okay. So if we go to St. Philip's College website and do a search for summer momentum, so if this semester in spring was your first time ever attending Alamo Colleges, then you'll get three free hours in the spring, sorry, in the summer. For fall 24 people, so people who started in the fall, and you enroll part-time, which is 11 or fewer credits in spring of 25, you'll get 6 free credit hours. For those of you who attended in the fall and you were full-time, so 12 or more hours in the spring, you get 9 free credit hours. Okay? How do we know what credit hours are? How do you know how do we know what number? Actually, I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on. Sorry. How do we know how many credit hours a class is? Anybody know how to figure that out?
On like the registration page?
On the registration page, or
Well,
how many credits do you think this class is? RSTO 2301. The answer is 3. Okay. It's the second number in your course number. Okay. Number 1 or 2 means whether it's a first year or a second year, right? So first year freshman, 2300 would be a second year course, a sophomore level course. Okay. The second number is the number of credit hours. Okay. So if you look at all the classes that you're taking and add up all the second numbers, that will tell you how many credit hours you're taking in that particular semester. Okay. So 9 free credit hours. That's potentially 3 classes that you could get taken care of in the summertime that you don't have to pay for. The idea is that you're keeping the momentum going so you can finish school faster. Okay. I personally love to talk to students about their schedules. Okay, I like to figure out what classes you're gonna take in which semester, kind of give you like a roadmap to use. So if you have questions about that, please let me know. Okay. One of the things that I wanted to bring to your attention. Summer 25. Chef. FDNS. I'm not sure if we have any FDNSs in the summer. Let's find out. HAMG. ESTR and RSTO. All right, so on the screen, you're gonna see all the classes that we are offering in the summertime. Okay? Some of them are summer 1, some of them are summer 2. Summer 1 is gonna go from like June 9th until, actually, I can tell you when that's gonna go. Summer 1 will be from June 9th to July 10th. In the summer, our classes are 5 weeks long. So think about what you do in a normal 16-week semester, coming to school just 1 day a week for a lab. You're gonna come for 5 weeks and you're gonna knock out all of the same material. Okay? You come in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? So it is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It is a little bit of a commitment, but think about what you could knock out and be done with in the summertime. Yes.
So it's like summer school wise?
It's summer school, yep.
Oh, like catching up and stuff.
Yeah, not catching up. In this case, you'd be getting ahead. Yeah, so those of you who are culinary arts, if you're in Chef 1300 right now, you can take international cuisine in the summertime, and you can take garde manger in summer 2, and then that will prepare you to take RSTO 2405 in the fall. And you can jump right into that kind of accelerated path. Okay. For those of you who have taken 1300, typically what happens in the summertime is that you prep on Monday and you serve on Tuesday, prep on Wednesday and serve on Thursday. So rather than trying to come in and prep everything for lunch that day, think about the whole class period to prep, and then the next day you come in and you finish the prep and then you actually serve. So it's slightly less hectic than it is during a regular semester when you come in and you have to prepare and serve in that same day. Okay, so international cuisine, there's 3 seats left. If you're interested in doing that. For baking and pastry students, anybody in here baking and pastry? Have you taken fundamentals of baking? You have? Okay, good. Those of you who are culinary, if you can't get into international cuisine, you can take fundamentals of baking, right? And then in the second semester, you can take your advanced pastry shop. So what would normally take you 32 weeks, because you have to do 16 weeks of fundamentals of baking, and then you have to do 16 weeks of advanced pastry in 2 different semesters. What normally would take you 32 weeks to complete can take you 10 weeks, and you can be done with it. Okay. My class, but you guys are already in this. One of them that I want to bring up is also legal issues. Okay. So legal issues is traditionally a spring only class. Okay, so how many of you have not taken HAMG 1345 or 1340? I'm not sure if pastry has to take it. I think culinary does. Okay, if you haven't taken it, it's an online class. Okay, and so you could take this online with your other classes and then maybe even potentially graduate in December instead of having to wait till May to graduate after you take hospitality legal issues in the spring. Okay, so this is something that if you want to get with me, we can look and see what courses you have left. to kind of give you an outline. So something to think about there. The other one is management and leadership. So management and leadership, I have 4 remaining spots in my online class. Okay. We have just added a new face-to-face component for management and leadership. That's going to be taught by Mr. Picon, Jose Picon. Okay. Fantastic teacher. This is his first time teaching the class, but he does great work. This one is designed, as you can see, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So it's designed for you to get out of lab while you're here on campus, just stay here and take this lecture class from 2 to 4, Monday through Thursday. So this is a fall only class. Okay. Management leadership is a fall only class. Mr. McNair is the one who teaches that primarily in the fall. Okay. So I teach it online in the summer, and it looks like Jose Picon is going to teach it face to face in the summer. And that's again, just for 5 weeks. So whatever you do for 16 weeks in a regular semester is condensed down into 5 weeks. Okay. I'm not going to say that summer classes are easier because that's not always the case. My class that I teach this class in the summertime over 10 weeks, and it's the exact same thing, except I take out the soup recipe and the bread recipe. That's all I take out from this class. So it's a pretty intense class. Management and leadership, it's pretty much just the basics, not a lot of fluff. You're going to get just the basic information out of that course in the summertime. Okay. So highly recommend that you check that out. Any other questions about summer or any of the classes that you see up on the screen? Let's see how Garmin Shade's doing. We got 6, okay. If you are in basic food prep is essentially the first part of summer 1, and then they go right into professional cooking as summer 2. So you can do both of those in the summer as well. A lot of the hospitality students like to do that to get their culinary classes out of the way in the summertime. Any questions, comments, concerns about summer? You do still pay any kind of fees. So there's like a lab fee associated with the class, then you would still pay that fee. But classes, depending on if you're in district or out of district, I think in district right now is $112 per credit hour. So that will save you like almost $350 per class, like per class that you take. So, I mean, that could save you over $1,000 if you took 9 credit hours in the summertime.